All right. I know folks are still making their way in, but I will go ahead and get started. Thank you everyone for being here today. My name is Hillary Stevens. I work at Restore America's Estuaries. I'm here with a couple of my colleagues, Brianna Yancey and Karen Smith. We're going to be just talking today about what the proposal process looks like for folks who want to present at Summit. We have a number of different options for ways you can do that. The call for proposals is out now. And this is an opportunity to just have some back and forth, a little bit of discussion about what makes a strong proposal, what the proposal process looks like. And we're here to answer any questions you might have. So I'm going to dive right in with some slides to walk through here. Oh, Karen, why don't you guys, Karen, Brianna, why don't you guys introduce yourselves?
Oh, well, sure, I can introduce myself. I'm Karen Smith. I work with Restore America's Estuaries, and I have worked with the application process closely in prior years, and will be doing the same this year. So I'm glad to be here. If you have any questions, I was really raising my hand to say, Hillary, did we want to record this?
It
Um,
should be recording.
Automatic. Okay.
I
All
think it
right. Just
is.
making
Yes.
sure.
Thank you for the reminder. Appreciate it.
Okay.
And hi everyone, thank you so much for being here. My name is Brianna Yancey and I'm a contractor with RAE and I'm providing a lot of the support for the financial assistance program.
Terrific. Thank you. If you guys have any questions as we're going, feel free to drop them into the chat and one of us will get back to you. Once I'm done running through a few slides here talking about the proposal process, we're happy to take questions live as well. So with that, okay, let me do the actual slideshow here. Whoops. There we go. Does that look good? Okay, terrific. Again, thank you everyone for being here. This session is about the call for proposals for the 2026 RAE Summit. It will be in beautiful San Francisco on September 22nd through 25th. For those of you who may have taken part in the past, we've adjusted the schedule a little bit this year. So instead of starting over the weekend, the program will start on a Tuesday and goes through the rest of that week. More of the details are available on our website that have full schedule, travel information, hotel, venue, all that good stuff. There are 4 different types of proposals that you can submit. And again, the call for proposals, this is all available on our website. The first one, actually, I'll go in order here. First one is a dedicated session. This is a submission that is for an entire 90-minute block. One person submits and covers 5 different speakers. We'll go into more detail in a minute. The next one is called an alternative format session. This is also for an entire 90-minute session with a lot more flexibility about what it looks like. Single presentation is, as it sounds, one person giving one talk that's 12 to 15 minutes, and the last one is for a poster. All 4 of these types of submissions are open now. They all close on March 13th. And in all cases, there is one person who is the primary submitter for these. When you submit a presentation, you will indicate the topic area that you are speaking about. They are all listed here. There are 12 specific topics and then one catch-all of other that includes lots of different things that may not fit quite into these regular topic areas. You may choose up to 3 because we absolutely realize that a lot of these talks are going to cover different areas and, for example, could be talking about coastal restoration and resilience and be located in California. And there will be lots that actually meet those 2 criteria. You could easily pick 1 and 5 if those both apply to you, and we encourage you to do that. We include these topic areas both as a way to demonstrate these are the areas we want to cover in this summit, and because it helps us on the backside as we are going through the review process And as we're scheduling them, it helps us kind of put like topics together into categories. Again, you don't have to select one. You can pick up to 3 of these topic areas that might suit what you're wanting to speak about. So I said the first type of presentation is a dedicated session. This is 90 minutes. There will be one person who is moderating and 5 speakers, and each speaker has roughly 12 minutes to speak, 1 or 2 questions, and then they sit down and the next one comes up. If you want to present for one of these, you need to find the 5 speakers that you want to include. And we strongly encourage you to get as many different perspectives and voices as you can. We don't want to hear 5 people that work at the same organization, 5 people with the same perspective. We really want to make sure that they might be 5 people talking about the same technique or the same project that they've worked on, but we want to get different perspectives on this so that that 90-minute block is cohesive, but has a full picture about a given topic or a given project. The next type of presentation is we call it an alternative session, but really what this means is that you have 90 minutes and you can break it up however works best for you. We've seen lots of different things that fall into this type. We've had cooking demonstrations. People come in and talk about how they're using seafood in different cultural aspects. We've had lightning talks where you might get like 10 or 15 people to come in and they each get just a few minutes to speak. We get a lot of panel discussions where you get 3 or 4 people, but it's going to be a lot of back and forth rather than just one person at a time. We welcome all of it, and we really encourage something new, something different that maybe you've got a new tool you want to demonstrate, or you want to test drive it and like beta test it with people in the audience. Let them give you feedback about it. We welcome all of that. Really, almost anything goes in here. It will go through the review process. So we want to make sure your idea is fully vetted and fleshed out. Really think out what you want to accomplish and describe it in that proposal. But that 90 minutes is yours. If you have a creative idea and you might need some different facilities, the rooms are set up in a typical conference style where you've got seating, and then up at the front, you're going to have a microphone and a podium and a projector. If you want to do something that kind of needs a little bit of a different structure to the room, please let us know. And within reason, we will work with you to accommodate that. The third type of presentation is a single presentation. This is your very conventional conference presentation. You've got a 15-minute block. You speak for 20 minutes, and then you'll take a couple of Q&A. We will combine these. So we will get hundreds of these coming in. We will combine them into groups of 5 that we will schedule into 90-minute blocks. So if you submit for a single presentation, you will be put in a room with 4 other speakers that have related topics, and someone will moderate that session. You do want to make sure that your abstract fully describes the topic you want to present about. And when you choose the topics, as I said, you get up to 3 focus areas. Select the one that you think, or the 2 or 3 that will address sort of how you would want to be scheduled. What types of other things would you want to be speaking adjacent to? That'll help us get you in the right place in the schedule. The fourth one is a poster. This is just what it sounds like. You will get a mounted poster board in our expo hall. It is Wednesday night is when the poster session is scheduled to be. And during that time, we'll ask you to stand with your poster and be available for a question and answer with folks that are going to be walking through that space and very curious to hear what you've got to say. There are many topics that lend themselves more to posters than to a single presentation. You will have much better opportunity for back and forth with the audience as a poster, because you've got several hours where you can be standing there and really engage with people coming by for questions. We encourage things that are highly visual, and you can display with photographs, architectural drawings, plans, graphs, that kind of thing, because that's really the real estate that you've got with a poster. There are lots of great tips out there about what a good poster looks like, and we also welcome questions with that. One point I will make is that the deadline with posters is a little more flexible because the review process with posters is more flexible. And so while we would love to see abstracts in by the 13th, we do expect to leave the poster portal open for longer than the oral presentations. A little bit of advice about what makes a really good proposal. So you're going to be asked to give your name, your affiliation, and a description of what you want to speak about. The limit is 1,500 characters, which is about 25 to 30 words. That's a typical length for an abstract if you are coming from a scientific training, that's about the length you want to describe. You want to use those 250 to 300 words really wisely. Give us a full description of what you want to talk about. This is not just a teaser. You don't leave us hanging. You tell us what you're going to say. Be as thorough as you can in that limited space. Address the full range of what it is you want to talk about. You want to show why this is relevant to this audience. That's the, I should say, the review process. These abstracts will all be vetted and reviewed. We have a program committee of dozens of experts from around the country in a variety of different relevant fields. They will be reviewing the abstracts and recommending which ones deserve a slot in the summit schedule. So you want to give them all of the information they need to make an assessment of, is this appropriate for this audience? Is this idea fully vetted? Is this person capable of providing a really engaging talk? You want to show why it's relevant to this audience. You want to be talking about an idea or a perspective or a project that has something unique to say, that we can pull out some lessons learned that people can build on, take home with them, and develop, incorporate into their learning and their future work. You want to be focused on fully fleshed out ideas or completed projects. We do not want to be hearing about plans you have for the thing that just got funded, but you haven't done yet. We always get a number of proposals that are talking about future work or talking about a project that's just gotten started. We don't want to be incorporating projects that are just ideas yet and not on the ground. So please focus on work that has already been done so that you can talk about what worked, what didn't, how can other people build on this idea? And again, pull out and highlight the lessons learned from your project. Timeline for the review process. It is open. The portal is open through March 13th. That's Friday of next week. As I said, the poster submission portal will stay open longer, but all of the oral presentations are due by the end of the day, March 13th. The review process will go on sort of behind the scenes after that. We're planning to have the registration site for Summit open in mid-April. The notifications for proposals that have been accepted will go out in mid-May. And I will say, if you submit for a single presentation, you may be accepted for a presentation. You may also get word back from the review panel that they think your submission is better suited to a poster. So it is possible, if you submit for a single presentation, that you'll be accepted for a poster spot rather than a speaking slot. We have had a few cases where dedicated sessions or alternative format have been accepted as a single presentation, where the review panel determined this is an interesting idea, but it's not worth 90 minutes. And particularly in years that are very competitive, we do get a lot more submissions than we have room for in the schedule. That is one way that we might accept an idea, but say, we can't give you 90 minutes on the schedules. You need to bring this down to 15 minutes and give a single talk. So again, notifications of acceptance will go out in May. The early bird rate for registration is good through July. So you've got a nice chunk of time there between receiving the notification in May and still having access to that discounted registration rate. That'll be open until July. It then switches over to the regular rate. And we then look forward to seeing you in San Francisco in September. So there is a nice window of time there through July and August to make your travel plans and to register at the regular rate, as that'll be open right up until probably the week before. You can register on site, but if you are accepted to give a talk, we need you to confirm that you will be coming so that we can find a spot for you in the schedule. We understand sometimes folks are not able to register if they can't get travel approval. They're not able to register until much later. We do ask that you go ahead and confirm with us, and the instructions on that will be in your notification that goes out. Brianna, can I hand it over to you to talk about financial support?
Yes, you can. I'm happy to take over right now. So for the summit, we do as much as we can to make it affordable for people. In addition to just the base cost of everything, we also provide financial support. So there is a scholars program. That program is for early career professionals and people from underrepresented backgrounds. We are trying to encourage to attend to help people build their networks, and build more connections within Restore America's estuaries. We also have a volunteer program. So people who sign up to volunteer, they can get their registration waived. And then we also have a speakers financial support program for select speakers who might represent innovative fields or ideas or underrepresented perspectives. I am going to be in charge of managing the scholars program for early career and first timers at the summit. Um, and there'll be a webinar about that on May 15th, and more information to come about how you apply to that after that.
Terrific. Thank you. And with that, I will wrap, and I'm going to take it off share so that I can see everybody in case anyone wants to come off mute. If you have any questions now or at any point during this process, feel free to get in touch. My email is on the screen now. I should have put the actual summit website link. My apologies, but estuaries.org is our website, and right from the homepage is a link to the summit page that's got all of the information about the call for proposals, the link to the website for registration, travel information about the hotel, the venue, all of that is available online. And with that, I'm happy to take any questions that anyone may have. And I just realized I don't have the chat open. Doesn't look like anything has come in there either. Okay. All right. I will give it another minute, but I want to thank you all for being here. Oh, Susanna, do you have a question?
I'm really sorry I missed the most of your presentation.
Oh, okay.
I just was wondering, I just formed a watershed coalition, so I'm kind of new to this, but I was thinking of having a poster where I just provided some information about the watershed and kind of just to get people at the meeting their input on that. Is that an appropriate use of a poster?
It certainly could be. I think if you give us a description in the abstract about the programs that you're working on and why you think that this organization is particularly important in your region, or what new service you're going to be offering to that community, you absolutely will get feedback in the poster session. I can guarantee you that. The discussion is very lively.
Yeah.
I think the critical thing to be communicating to the reviewers in your abstract is, what is the information you want to put forward about your organization, what you're working on, that kind of thing.
Thank you.
What is the latest date and month? Thank you for that question. We actually don't have this date right at hand, but I'm going to say it is probably July. The reason I say that is that we have a capacity limit um, in the hall. And so there is somewhat of a, as long as space is available, we will accept submissions. And based on what I've seen in the past, we usually are able to leave that open right up through the early bird. I will make sure that anyone that submits a poster abstract is notified of their acceptance ahead of the early bird deadline. So you will have time to register at the early bird rate. We will leave it open until we are at capacity, and we sort of, those get reviewed on a rolling basis. Okay, any additional questions?
I I assume someplace on the website there are accepted abstracts from previous years, or is there a
We don't usually, but particularly poster abstracts, we don't usually make public. If people choose to put them on their posters, then they would be public, but we do not generally post those. They will be, I shouldn't say that. They will be available on the digital version of the event. Like the event portal, when you come to San Francisco, we'll have a website that allows you to look at the schedule and all of the different offerings, and the abstracts will be available in there. What we don't have is a database of previous year's abstracts that we make public at this time. Is the registration and hotel rate on the website now? Karen, I'm not actually sure about that.
I don't know that it's on the website, but I can tell you that the hotel rate is $269 a night. We've covered the dates. The summit starts on Tuesday, September 22nd, and goes through that Friday, the 25th. So, I'm actually, the hotel is still working on, I don't know if the block is quite open yet. So, but that is you can check back later. I hate saying that.
Yeah. We're in the sort of the final process of firming up all of the information that'll go onto the registration site, and it'll be open in about a month. We know that people are eager for that information to put in for travel permission and budgeting and so forth. So we will make that available as soon as it is written in ink. All right. I don't see any additional questions. So again, I want to thank you all for your time and attention and being here today. I am super excited. The submissions are rolling in. I'm already seeing them come in. And I know our program committee is very excited to get roll up their sleeves and get busy with the review process. So thank you for your energy and your interest. We are very excited to have you. Look forward to seeing what you've got to come and present. If you have any questions between now and, well, really between now and September, please don't hesitate to get in touch. You can find my info and Karen's on the website. And if you submit to the links on the website there, we will get them and we'll get back to you as quickly as we can. So thanks again. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Thank you.
Thank you.